I'm here today to talk to you about call tracking. Now, not all call tracking is created equal. There are different types of call tracking that do different things. Something that I've been noticing recently is people calling us saying, hey, we want to listen to the recordings of our staff, we want to train them, make sure they're handling their calls properly. Because their marketer may have just told them that they're not handling their calls properly, that they could convert better. And this certainly is something that we see quite a bit of, but that isn't call tracking. And well, maybe to some people that is call tracking. You're tracking what's happening with your phone calls. What we do specifically is a little bit different. While we do record phone calls, that is not our main value proposition. If you do a little bit of research, you'll notice we are not the cheapest solution in the block, and the reason for that is because we are a very specialized solution, and we're not cheap because we can help you make lots of money. But if you don't use us properly, if you just use us for recording and listening to phone calls, then it might not be worth the money that you're paying. So today I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on how what we do is more for quantitative marketing, more for call tracking in a holistic sense versus call recording and training. While you can do call recording and training using our systems, that is just one component of it, and you should be using much more than just the call recording and training. So what makes our system different from most other call tracking systems is we go from one end to the other. We figure out that, hey, this person that's calling you found you in such and such a place, called, became a customer, came in, and maybe spent $5,000. This other campaign that you're doing, we'll say the newspaper, I'm not picking on newspapers here by any means, but let's say the newspaper ad that you published got you 3 phone calls, and all 3 of those phone calls did not become customers. We can track that for you on the fly. We know which ones are new patients, which ones aren't. We don't have people sitting there and listening to the calls to do that. There are companies that do have people sitting there listening to the phone calls. We offer that as an add-on service if you really want a human audit of your calls because you're worried about quality issues on your front desk. But our system automatically recognizes that the caller who's calling right now did or did not become a new customer, what they spent, what you got out of it, and then you can make the decision as to which marketing is working for you, which one isn't. Seems pretty simple and straightforward to me, but I've come to realize that it is not as straightforward and simple, and I should point this out to folks. When using our system, you really want to look at the analytics. If you want to make sure that your marketing is working right, that you're constantly monitoring your marketing, if you have a high dollar marketing budget, that you want to get the best bang for your buck, you should be using our system, and our system is built specifically to increase the amount of money that you make from your marketing. There are other systems that are built to do part of that. Yeah, you could, let's say you could use one of the vanilla call tracking systems, and it has everything but the integrations to the practice management systems. What they'll do is they'll tell you how many calls you got, how many minutes, they might even record it, but you'd have to sit down, listen to all of those calls, and then crunch the number yourself, which at a small dental practice, for example, you may be able to do. But if you have 600 or 1,000 or 2,000 calls in a month, that's quite a bit of time to sit there and listen to all those calls to understand what's going on. And even if you're paying somebody else to do that, that can get pretty expensive pretty quickly. Not to mention, once you have human beings in the loop, there's also the likelihood of mistakes and whatnot. So our system, there's a bot that sits there every time a phone call comes in. It can think really fast, and it figures out, hey, is this a good call? Is this a bad call? It lets your front desk know so they can answer it better. And then after all is said and done, at the end of the month, you want to know, hey, how many good leads did I get? How many leads did I get? How many of them became new patients? How many of them didn't go anywhere? And how many existing patients called? How many junk callers called? We can tell you all of that information automatically. Thanks for watching.